Hey y'all, welcome to another day of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be doing a cook and clean with me. We're going to get started on the cooking part because this is going to be a recipe that needs to do its thing and kind of cook for a while. I'm actually starting early because I'm sure you're wondering why it's so bright outside, and it's around 2 something. So I'm getting started early because Cody, my husband, is actually having to go to work tonight, so he needs some food, some sustenance. So I'm going to make potato soup, and it's actually not my recipe. I've never made this recipe before, so I have full confidence in my friend Taylor that recommended it, and I have known her for over 10 years. We went to high school together, and her husband and I actually went to Head Start together, so I've known him since I was like 4 or 5 years old, however old I was then. So I've known him for a very long time, and she has an Instagram account and she shares different things and home decor. Y'all, they are a freaking riot. They're a pack of dunces. I know y'all have heard me call my husband a dunce before. I call Mila a dunce. I call myself a dunce. It's kind of a term of endearment, but if y'all ever heard me call anybody a dunce, it means that you're crazy in the best way possible. So that's what it means for anybody that's ever asked. But she shared this recipe over on her Instagram stories the other night, and I was like, darn. She ended up burning hers, poor thing. So fingers crossed I don't burn this slam up and scorch it. So we'll actually be able to eat it. I'm going to share that recipe with y'all as I'm going along, and then we got to clean up because y'all, there is mess sitting all on top of the counters, and it gives me some kind of anxiety when the counters are not clean. Like I'm just, what is the lady doing? Anyway, let's get started. Let's get this recipe pulled up. I did take a screenshot, and I will put the recipe on the screen, and I also have it down below in the description box. So let me find that. Now she put yellow potatoes. I'm assuming a yellow potato is a gold potato. That's what I bought. Those of you that have watched Cook With Me before and have ever watched me cut up anything will probably remember me and my tiny little paring knife cutting stuff up. And y'all have always told me, girl, get you a bigger knife. And the reason I always use that knife is because it is the best cutting knife ever. It is a Rada knife, R-A-D-A. If you've never used their cutlery, it is off the chain, but it was the only one I had. I did have a set of 2, but one got missing one Thanksgiving, and I ain't seen it since. But I was finally able to find somewhere that sold it. So I did go in and get me 2 new knives. So y'all's gonna be real happy seeing me cut these potatoes with a bigger knife. And then we're gonna cut them into chunks, Taylor said, about the size of a golf ball. So I'm assuming about 1 inch to 2 inch chunk. And then it'll kind of break itself down in the soup, because you don't want big chunks, but you also don't want it like just straight up mush. You want some texture to it. This is definitely soup weather. It's probably like 40 degrees outside right now, which for us is pretty cold. And this is my favorite time of year to make all kinds of soups, and that's one of my favorite things to make is a soup. Chili, taco soup, potato soup. What is that soup? Zuppa Toscana. I even made a new soup probably a few weeks ago, and it was like nothing I had ever had before, and I ended up kind of making it my own, and I definitely have to make that for y'all. I wish I could just give y'all the recipe, but I'm gonna have to like replay everything what I did and look back at the original recipe, because I totally tweaked everything, but it was so good. But comment down below your favorite soups for this time of year. Oh, it's just the colder weather, y'all. Just, you want something hearty and warm, fill your gut up. So comment down below what your favorite soups are. So hopefully this pot is big enough. That was a lot of potatoes. I typically get the ones that are unsalted or like reduced sodium, but they didn't have that. So here we are with just the regular. So I probably won't be putting any additional salt in this because most of the time these stocks and broths are pretty high in the sodium category. So we're going to 2 of these and then a medium onion. So let's cut that up. Have you ever seen somebody share a recipe online and you, just by looking at them and by some of the stuff they've shared before, you know the recipe that they're sharing ain't good. Like you can just look at them and be like, you don't know what good food is. That ain't the case with Taylor. That's why anything she says, honey, I'll try it. So I mean, we're from the same neck of the woods, which don't mean a whole lot too, because there's still some people from around the house that make some questionable dishes. Now, my question down below in the comments is, what is something that maybe your family, your friends, or whoever, people on social media that you think like the recipe is just way overhyped and you don't get it, like you don't understand why people eat it, like you think it's disgusting? Let me know that down below in the comments. I'm gonna tell y'all what I don't eat. I don't like avocado, and I don't understand these people that are out here smearing that thing on a piece of bread. The only thing that needs to be spread on bread is either butter or peanut butter or some jelly. No, why are you spreading a whole vegetable on that piece of bread? No, sis. Okay, so as far as cutting up the onion, I want it to be in nice little bite-sized pieces, and hopefully my eyes won't just take me out of the game. Oh, Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh, Jesus. That's a real fresh one there. Honestly, at this point, we are just living on a prayer that this pot is big enough. I do have a Dutch oven. I need a new one. Mine is rusted out. I have to be honest, when I first got it, we were just married, and I haven't put anything in here yet, by the way. I was just kind of trying to mix them onions down. I want to see if I can fit it all in here. But when we were first married, it was actually a wedding gift, my Dutch oven, and I love it. But I didn't know how to take care of that thing, and didn't clean it like I should have to get rid of all that rust and stuff. So what ended up happening was, over time, it's sort of irreparable at this point. Is irreparable a real word? So I need a new one, and Aldi is one of the best places to get them. The one that I have is from Pembroke, and I can't remember the name brand of it. It was all right. Mama bought it too, and she knows how to clean it. And still, I'm thinking maybe it was the brand of it. Okay, I think, oh, Jesus Christ. Mama bought one, and in hers rusted too, so she got one from Aldi and brags about it, and hers looks brand new. And if y'all follow the Kitchen Wife on Instagram, me and Mama have followed her for years now. We love her. She cooks in the Aldi ones all the time, and hers always look brand new when she uses them, and I'm like, darn, mine don't look like that. So whenever I see another one at Aldi, I'm going to pick it up. Hopefully it'll have a cute color. I wish I could get like a white one. I know Le Creuset makes one, but I ain't about that Le Creuset money, honey. Alright, so that does fit. I don't know what size this pot is, y'all, but it's pretty good. Now, this is going to come to a boil, and I gotta look at the recipe to see what I do then. You're really going to have to clean now after I've just slung that chicken stock on this counter. So we're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to add in a block of cream cheese. Now, the best way that I know how to add in cream cheese to any recipe is to go ahead and break it up ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the fridge so it can kind of be softening up, and cut it into about 6 to 8 cubes. Now, I will say I like cutting the cream cheese when it's pretty firm, because I feel like it cuts a lot cleaner. But if you've ever added cream cheese into a recipe, you've noticed, especially if you've just added it straight out of the fridge, how long it kind of takes to break down and really incorporate. So if you do it broken into pieces, and also if you do it kind of room temperature, it doesn't take nearly as long. This is one of those things where it's easy to clean because you're not having to cook separate things. Speaking of, I gotta cook some bacon, so let's cook this. Forgot all about that. The best way I can tell you how to make bacon is to put it in the oven. It is fast, not messy at all, and you can actually save some of the bacon grease, which I recommend, and it's good on eggs. It's good on hash browns. You can use it just to coat the bottom of your pans. You can use it to coat the bottom of your cast iron skillets. And it also is going to give it some flavor with also, like, you know, whatever the word is for the cast iron skillets. I don't know what it is. But you just slap it on there. You can either put it on parchment paper or foil. I use foil and just pour it into a container. I put it in the fridge. It has a lock top on it. And I cook it at 425 for about 10-15 minutes. It just depends on how crispy you want it and your oven. We will not be using this whole pack of bacon, and this is a mega pack. I like to get these bigger packs. I just feel like once you go to cooking bacon, it just kind of disappears. You don't know if you cook bacon. I mean, they shrivel up, and these are the really nice thick cut pieces. They still are going to shrivel up some on you. But I'll go ahead and just cook it all, and then we can have some for breakfast. We can make breakfast sandwiches. You can just pop it in the air fryer just to heat it back up some. And you can kind of overlap them, but I don't like to completely crowd them because I want them to have their time to shine and make sure they all get a little crispness to them. I still like mine to have a little chew, a little bite to them. So I will take them out before they're completely done, and then the heat on the pan and the grease will continue to cook them until they're to my likeness. And then I'll take them off and put them on a paper towel and let them just get the excess grease out. While the bacon does its thing, I set the timer for 12 minutes. We'll see where it's at 12 minutes. We're going to try to clean up as much as we can while those potatoes come to a boil and that bacon cooks. This, we're going to add in some sour cream. Now she says to taste. I don't know what taste means. I guess your preference, but I can't taste it because it ain't done. So I'm going to add in, I don't know. We'll see how much I got. I might just go ahead and add all of it in along with some garlic or garlic salt. But like I said, I don't want to add any salt, so I'm going to add some garlic in, salt and pepper, and cheddar cheese. We're going to hold off on the salt until I can taste it, and I'll figure out if I can add some salt or not. But I am going to add some pepper and the cheddar. So I checked our bacon after 12 minutes, and it wasn't to my likeness, so I added another 4. We'll check it here in a smidge. We don't need that yet anyway. We'll typically add that when serving, because if you go to put it in your soup, it'll get kind of soggy. So if you want your bacon to stay crisp, just put some on top of the places you serve it. Not much sour cream left, so I'm just going to use what I have, which is maybe a tablespoon and some change. I'm just gonna do, I have this Bayyybaay, I think I'm saying it right. It's sodium free, 14 spices. It's all purpose seasoning. She doesn't say to add this, but y'all, I'm extra, and I feel like I throw a little bit of everything into this. So just to kind of give you an idea, it has garlic in it, onion, parsley, pepper. I don't really know, 14 of them. That smells divine, by the way. I'm getting some whiffs of the bacon in the oven. And then seasoning I just put in there. Yeah, it was about like a heaping tablespoon and maybe like a teaspoon that I'm putting in. I'm sure if you add in more sour cream, it might be a little creamier, but this is all I got, so we're just gonna work with that. bacon. It says cheddar cheese, but I got Colby and cheddar. I'm sure any cheese will be fine. And cheese is also salty, so I don't want to add in too much. So I'm going to let this cook down a little bit, and then I'm going to come back, make sure I didn't miss anything. Just let it cook down a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and taste the broth. Taste the broth to see if I need to add anything. It's been a little while. Mila's up from her nap. She's around there with her daddy. Potatoes are... Huh? Alright, Lady was locked up in her bedroom. She's bad for that. She'll go in her room and then you close the door and you don't realize she's in there. So the potatoes are fork tender. They've been going for about, I would say maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, because you want them to break down some. Now some of them I did leave in kind of a bigger chunk, so those didn't like completely break down, but they are very soft to the point that I can take this spoon and just break them into pieces. I'm going to go ahead and put Cody's in a bowl for work, but I'm going to taste it because I haven't tasted it yet to see if it needs to use. Alright, we're definitely going to need some seasoning help. We are going to need to add some salt. We're going to add some garlic powder. I don't have garlic salt. If I did, I'd probably add some of that, but I don't have that. I'm going to add some more of this 14 spice blend. Maybe about a teaspoon and a half of salt. Let's give that a stir. Even with the cheese, it's still not very salty, y'all. I thought that it would be because of that stock, but it's not. Probably because the potatoes, that was 5 pounds of potatoes, so it just soaked all of that up. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I feel like it needs something. Definitely about another teaspoon of salt. I am also going to add a few crushed red pepper. Not a whole lot because Mila's eating it and I don't want it to set her fields on fire. I'd rather add small amounts to be able to go in and add more than add too much and then you're stuck. Now I'm going to keep in mind, you can top this with more cheese and bacon, and the bacon does have salt and so does the cheese, so you don't want to make it too salty. I will share one thing, that if you like ranch things, and I might do this, I might try this out right now. A packet of ranch seasoning, add that, and that just turns everything. They call it like crack soup or anything. Don't just add that word. I'm not a big fan of that word. So, might do that. Just add a little bit of that, which also has a little bit of salt in it. I think that'll be really good. I'm very tempted to add that right now. Let's taste. Let's do it. Screw it. My take on Purpose for 8's potato soup. I'm so excited. Mila's. There's a lot of sounds going on around me, but here's Mila's. She has some sliced carrots, half of a little miniature bagel, and her soup. Mila, time to eat. It's good, y'all. Tasting it out. Hey, baby. Are you ready to eat? Yeah. All right, Mila. They want to know what you think. Is it good? Oh, wow. Is that good? Mm-hmm. So, screw the spoon. Is that yummy? Mmm. Yeah. Yay! You like it? Alright guys, it's a hit. Mila is down, so it is time for me to put some pep in my step. Get this house cleaned up. I'm going to set Alexa, set a 20-minute timer.
20 minutes, starting now.
Last year I thought about how things can come about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
Alexa, how much time's left on the timer?
You have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 20-minute timer.
Screw that, F, I'm done. So on that note, you can hear the dishwasher cutting back on because of course I just turned it off to throw something else in there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for future, not only vlogs for Vlogmas, but you know, the rest of the time. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and we will see y'all tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. Good night, y'all. Bye.